More unbelievable Starfield cope. Let's go.
Starfield has sold very well for Microsoft and Bethesda, and I was honestly shocked to see just how well it has performed. We haven't really seen
Okay.
or heard much out of the studio or Xbox since this previous announcement back on September the 19th when it was revealed that
Well, the reason you don't hear more about these announcements is very simple. Because they're posting milestones. The next milestone would probably be 15 million or 20 million. But that's never happening now, is it?
Starfield had passed 10 million players, but with this most recent report from Circana, formerly the NPD Group, we can see that, at least based on dollar sales in the US, Starfield is sitting at the top spot. That's right, number one.
Number 1. Reported period 8/27/23, 9/30/23. So this is essentially the month that Starfield came out and it had no competition. Mortal Kombat 1. Didn't this game release in September? The start of September? Oh my god. Yeah, it released at the start of September, didn't it? So you're telling me Starfield is selling better than Mortal Kombat 1, a game that shouldn't even be on the list because the time period is, well, it doesn't favor Mortal Kombat at all. It's past its prime for, a very long time at this point. So Starfield outperformed Mortal Kombat, a game that shouldn't even be on this list because it didn't release in the same time period. And then Mortal Kombat is number 2 because, well, nothing released. We already talked about this. Starfield released in the most open, non-competitive month that was ever possible. No other AAA game released at this time. This is crazy.
And this is a big deal, besting
Wow.
strong competition from Mortal Kombat, EA Sports Football Club 24, formerly FIFA, and other heavy hitters as well. Now, in tandem with the September sales ranking,
Dude, that is a hilarious way of looking at that situation, I'm not gonna lie.
Circana also published the year-to-date rankings, and Starfield, despite only being on sale for what was effectively a month, is already placing at the number 7 spot with
Everyone... The majority of sales happen in the first month. After that, it's like, you're lucky to get a single percent, okay? Hogwarts Legacy is better. Obviously, Zelda winning. Madden, jeez, even Madden won against you? Wow, Starfield, you should probably give up before it gets really bad. Call of Duty, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, Mortal Kombat 1. Jeez Louise.
Mortal Kombat, number 2 on the September
Yeah.
rankings chart, showing up at number 8, so just behind Starfield here for the year-to-date rankings. Looking over this chart, Hogwarts was, of course, number.
This is also only America, by the way. It doesn't. I can't see if it says only America, but we have heard this before. This is only America. In Europe, Starfield is rank 40 or something, 20 to 40.
Number 1 launched in February. Zelda, number 2, launched in May. Madden, a huge franchise, launched in mid-August. Diablo 4 in mid-October.
Yeah, you can easily tell that this is only America actually from the Madden, because the Madden is American football, the one that doesn't resemble football at all. So yeah, Madden would never sell good in Europe.
Modern Warfare 2 2022 still in the top 5 for 2023 despite launching in late 2022. Star
Wow.
Wars Jedi Survivor, which I thoroughly enjoyed playing but was conflicted over due to the terrible PC port, launched April 2023, and then Starfield.
They fixed the Jedi Survivor things for the most part, right? I'm not 100% sure, didn't play it. But yeah, people complain about it because the port was horrible, but they did fix it in a month or something like that.
With 1 month of sales, slotting in at number 7. And these sales numbers, first off, were shocking to a lot of people, me included, because I knew Starfield was selling well, but not on this scale. Xbox needed to hit it big with Starfield, and clearly
Xbox didn't hit it big with Starfield. It's on Battle Pass. Why are people constantly trying to bring up Battle Pass as the equivalent of sales? Xbox is saying it's the equivalent of sales, but that doesn't mean it's the equivalent of sales. The reason that they have Starfield on Battle Pass is because Xbox looked at Starfield and what Bethesda is doing, and they instantaneously got paler and thought, Jesus Christ, we bought... Why did we buy the studio? They're a bunch of morons. They're inept and stupid. Holy hell. You know the only reason, by the way, as much as we like to dig at Microsoft, the only reason Starfield is not a worse buggy mess than Fallout 76 is only because Microsoft said, no, you're not releasing this game. You're gonna take a year to fix bugs. Okay? You're gonna take a year, or maybe it was 2 years. Microsoft didn't allow them to release Starfield. This is why it's the Bethesda's least buggiest game ever made. Because they actually forced them to fix bugs. And that took them 2 years or something. And, well, it's still a buggy, shitty mess without a game. It's crazy. So that's why they put it on Battle Pass. Because they were afraid that, yo, no one's gonna buy this for full release. Jeez Louise, it's bad. It wasn't even number 1 on Steam when it released. And keep in mind, the Super Bethesda fanboys are on Steam, by the way, because Steam is where the mods are at. Yeah, so all of that, and Starfield couldn't still be even number 1 on Steam. That is just disgustingly low. Okay, that is honestly just. If I was Microsoft, I would be thinking, How do we make Bethesda work? It seems like this company is just honestly pure trash. Did we make a huge mistake right now? The Todd Howard's sweet little lies just, get to us.
they have. Say what you want about the game's design, love it, hate it, indifferent. It has sold a lot of copies and generated a lot of money, despite the public bashing that being released on Xbox Game Pass Day 1 and the fact that it was an exclusive title would kill.
I love the fact that the laser rifle is the most inaccurate shotgun type of thing in the world.
The game on arrival. There's a million different ways to interpret the data, PC sales, etc., but if anything, this will further embolden Xbox to add even more Day 1 releases to the Game Pass model. Switching over to Bethesda news, and this past week has seen a few longtime Bethesda team members decide to move onwards to new adventures. Now, first of these was Pete Hines.
He's actually, by the way, correct 100% about the fact that this will embolden not Bethesda, but Xbox to push more things to the Game Pass. Because the reality is, the Game Pass is just more money than selling games. Again, I'll mention this again. Everyone who has a constant subscription to Game Pass is getting hosed. Because, think about it in this way. If the Game Pass lost money to Microsoft and Xbox, would it exist? No, it wouldn't exist. The reason is the Game Pass is a win over probably a period of years. Because let's face it, how many games does the average person buy per year? Honestly, on something like Xbox, probably like 1 or 2 games. And with numbers like that, well, congratulations. The Xbox Battle Pass is just worth it. They're going to play like 1 game, but they're going to be subscribed for a year. And that's going to be way more money. Now, there are some people who actually get value from the Game Pass, aka they play like 20 games per year. And then that's true value, yes. But even then you need to understand, if you're going to be subscribed to the Game Pass for 5 years, even if you play 20 games a year, you're still going to be the loser after 5 years. It's just basic math, dude. It's just basic math. The Game Pass would never exist if it wasn't good. If it wasn't good business for Microsoft. You think you're winning, but you're not.
Head of publishing at Bethesda, who after 24 years has decided to retire. and I know there was some speculation
Good. All the people who have worked in Bethesda for more than 5 years deserve the rope.
flying around out there with Uncle Pete and Starfield. Maybe the game sales and launch of Starfield had something to do with his departure. I mean, who knows? There actually could have been some clause or discussions behind the scenes when Microsoft acquired BGS. Maybe a sweet severance package was put on the table.
Oh, of course. When a giant company acquires another giant company, that the first giant company is not doing that because the other giant company is doing well. They're doing it mostly in these situations. If it's a new company, they can't acquire it because it's actually doing well, by the way. But in most situations like this, when it's all giant companies, the other bigger company is acquiring the smaller one because of one simple reason. They look at what they're doing, and they're saying, yeah, this is trash. We can take over and do so much better. So, obviously, that means that the leadership has to go. Because, well, if the leadership was good, they would probably be not being acquired by a bigger company because they would be doing better. So, the leadership has to go. Because the leadership is the one failing the company. Obviously, the game devs are completely incompetent. We already know that, but still.
Which I think we're going to see a lot more of at the corporate level due to the AB King acquisition, Bobby Kotick being one of those. But I read this.
Bobby Kotick is the only thing at Blizzard keeping the flood dam shut, okay? Bobby Kotick is the only thing that is standing in the way of 500 different lawsuits about everything you can ever imagine of. And whatever. Bobby Kotick, after the acquisition is done and everything is sorted out, I would not be surprised if Bobby Big Dick Kotick, the legend himself, would still be the CEO of Blizzard, just now reporting to Microsoft. I would not be surprised. Because Bobby's a legend, okay? He has destroyed more lives, done more bad than anyone else, with a smile on his face, and it's still Bobby's role, baby. Okay? I would not be surprised if at the end of the day, Bobby Kotick somehow stays at Blizzard and keeps on trucking. He is our hero.
Pete Hines' departure is nothing more than someone who's ready to try out something new and or relax. Now, the second departure, coming hot on the heels of Pete Hines, was that of Will Shin, lead quest designer on Starfield, 15-year employee at Bethesda, and lead designer.
I thought it said all AI generated. So you're telling me this guy has a lukewarm IQ of probably maybe 69 at best, and he made these Jesus. You know, I recently came to the conclusion why the Fallout series works. Because the Fallout series is stupid. Nothing in the Fallout series honestly makes sense. And by the way, I love the Fallout series. But I understood why it's actually a success. You see, Bethesda never intended Fallout to be not serious. They never intended Fallout to be, the joke of humanity that it honestly is in the lore. Where nothing makes sense and it's pretty much just a dice roll on every decision ever made by every faction, and logic is just thrown out the window constantly. They never intended Fallout to be a joke. They actually tried to write a very serious story. Now the problem is, Bethesda's writers are so absolutely, just without question, autistic that the spectrum doesn't even encompass them any longer. Okay, they're that far gone. So they tried their hardest to be serious, and this is what they came up: a vault where there's one woman and 100 men, or the vault where there's one man and 100 women. Okay, they tried to be serious and they made a comedy. And this is why Fallout works, because it's the most backwater, twisted, not real life type of situation that can ever exist. But it works because it's so strange. But they never intended it to be like that. They tried to make a serious series, yet they just failed this hard at trying to write anything good. Okay, And this is why they will never succeed in any game. Because the Fallout setting is the only setting that allows the writers to fail this hard at trying to create serious stories. Okay? Any other setting than Fallout will instantaneously fail because the writers will make a clown fiesta.
On what is arguably some of Fallout 4's best content, Far Harbor. Like Hines, Shin left on good terms and apparently had a new gig already lined up, joining Something Wicked Games as the lead content designer on its first game, the open-world RPG Weird Song. Now, in case you aren't familiar with Something Wicked Games,
no
it was
idea
founded
what
in
that is.
2022 by Jeff Gardner, a former Bethesda producer on games like Skyrim, Fallout 3 and 4, along with other former Bethesdaites, Charles Staples from Fallout New Vegas, and Ekram Rashid from Elder Scrolls Blades. Now, in terms of what this means for Bethesda moving forwards, I mean, anytime you lose someone that has been that involved in the development process, clearly has talent, clearly has creativity, and so on, of course.
So this person who has talent went away, made his own thing, and I have never even heard of it? And probably no one has? Are we sure he had talent? Sounds like to me he didn't have talent, honestly. You know, if he's so talented, why haven't I heard about this ever? Okay? Kind of begs the question. If he was so talented, why haven't I played this game?
Of course, that's going to be a big loss for the studio. But Starfield's launch seems to have provided team members who wanted to try out new things to flex their ideas and flex their passion in different ways. Starfield has given them the opportunity to make that move, to get that clean break before getting into Elder Scrolls 6, which is going to take years to develop. Whereas the first two, Pete and Will...
It's funny reading the comments, by the way, about everyone who is just saying, I am so fearful that Starfield... After seeing Starfield, I am so fearful of Elder Scrolls 6 being absolute dog water. I can't. It's true, honestly,
already known about and reported on. Kurt Kolman, the latest longtime dev team member to leave Bethesda, has only recently become public, only first being discovered when someone saw his post to his LinkedIn page from a few weeks ago. Kolman is a lesser-known figure than the other recent departures, but he had been with Bethesda for 20-plus years.
Okay,
and fans of the Elder Scrolls know his name. He was one of the lead designers on Skyrim.
I don't, but I'm technically not an Elder Scrolls fan.
Skyrim.
I am 100% more Fallout than Elder Scrolls, and Skyrim was Now looking back, this is what I say, man. I still played Skyrim for roughly 50 hours or so, and I enjoyed it, but it wasn't that special for me. You know, it was good. But it was nothing special, honestly. The dialogues sucked because, again, Bethesda's incapable of writing dialogues. Nothing made sense. It was a shitty story, but it was a fun game at least, right? But looking back at Skyrim after playing Starfield for 8 hours, man, does it feel like a masterpiece, boys. Does it suddenly feel like Skyrim is one of the most greatest games of all time, unironically? Just because how bad Starfield is. And Fallout New Vegas is godsend, honestly. Like, everything I have, every memory I have of playing, you know, New Vegas for, I don't know how many times I have played this game. It just feels so good. It feels so better after Skyrim. Skyrim is so bad it made other games feel good.
Redguard, Daggerfall. Basically, this was the Elder Scrolls lore brain. Well, he's now become a free agent. And again, the confidence is there that Bethesda can...
Yeah, Elder Scrolls lore is pretty shit in my honest opinion. I ain't gonna lie, boys. I don't think it's good at all. I don't know what actually the lore of Skyrim was. It was like, okay, I'm a dragonborn. I'm supposed to be this miracle god type of warrior, and everyone's just kind of like meh about it, honestly, you know? The king is like, ah, yes, you, the one with godlike powers. Can you fetch me a piece of pie? I really want... Okay, good. I mean, the story didn't make any sense at any point, in my honest opinion. But that's what I expect from Bethesda. The stories are nonsensical.
And deliver another Elder Scrolls adventure, but how do you replace someone that was there from the start and began the cosmology of the modern format of the Elder Scrolls? How will Bethesda respond when some of these key, old guard, OG originators have moved on?
Hopefully good, because I don't want them around. They have failed. They have failed me so many times. I want all of those people fired. I want them gone.
Guess we will see sometime in the next few years with Elder Scrolls 6. Switching gears, and we just recently got to see this extended Xbox Wake Up and Dream, Power Your Dreams trailer, clocking in at just over 3 minutes.
Wait, what do you mean she's wearing clothes like this? Everyone is supposed to wear dumbass, goofy, clown school looking stuff only. What do you mean she's wearing clothes that doesn't make her look like a goofball? This is non-lore accurate, Bethesda, okay? This is absolutely not lore accurate.
And there's a lot here to unpack, with most of the emphasis being placed on the featured titles, those being Hellblade 2, Forza Motorsport, recent acquisition Call of Duty, of course Starfield, and Cyberpunk 2077, leading some to speculate that
the good game
CD Projekt Red was next on the Microsoft spending spree of acquisitions.
Well, Microsoft's gonna obviously try to acquire absolutely everything humanly possible, so it makes sense. It makes sense. CDPR, good company, developed a shitty game, got absolutely cooked for it. Then they had the redemption story. That's pretty good. That's acquirable. And especially now, considering their stock price dropped, we actually looked into that. And the reason that their stock price dropped was because CDPR is doing the most, brain-damaged thing that ever can be possible. You know, Microsoft can go and say, okay, yeah, we're Microsoft. We have so many billions, it's not even funny. And Google, for every cent put in it, provides us with like 1 billion times return. So we are gonna start making our Microsoft brand bottled water, Microsoft pillows, Microsoft hand warmers, and Microsoft toilet seats. They can't do that. It would be pretty stupid, but they can do that. But you know who did that instead? CD fucking PR. Yeah, they said, well, we're a gaming studio, but now we're gonna make pencils and stupid crap. So that's why their stock price dropped. Because as an investor, you don't want to hear that the company you have invested for gaming, for the fact that they have done good stuff there, is now gonna divulge investment, divulge money, and invest in pencil sharpeners and stuff. That is not what you want to hear. So I wouldn't be surprised if Microsoft tries to acquire them. And yet again, will they be stopped by some kind of lawsuit from some kind of whatever? I don't know. Anyway, that honestly seems to be it. Yeah, it kind of seems to be it. Anyway, that was our boy Light Buzz Lightbeer. I don't know what LT actually stands for. I'm sorry, dude. But, well, it's a great channel. He does this as a hobby. He has a real job and shit like that. You know, we call him a Bethesda fanboy, and he probably is. And you can guess what? He doesn't care. He just likes to live his life. Decent. Anyway, this was Quizzer Sid. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and have a nice day. Bye-bye.